Welcome to Subaccount configuration. Let's learn how to customize your subaccount settings. This means adjusting your SAP BTP workspace to fit your project's specific needs, such as setting up security or enabling services. For instance, you might configure your subaccount to allow only certain developers to access a new application. Proper configuration ensures your cloud environment is secure and efficient from the start. Make your subaccount work exactly how you need it. This means customizing your cloud environment to match your business processes. For example, you can configure it to automatically send email alerts when sales orders exceed a certain value. This tailored setup ensures your operations run smoothly and efficiently. We'll use the subaccount we created in the last lesson. This means we are continuing with the same environment we already set up, so everything is ready to go. For example, if you built a workshop room earlier, now you are arranging the furniture inside it. This ensures a seamless learning experience as we build on your existing work. Get ready to make your SAP BTP space truly yours. This means you'll customize your cloud environment to fit your specific needs. For example, you could set up dedicated development and testing areas for your team. This personalization ensures your platform works exactly how you require it to. Understanding subaccount settings in SAP BTP. Settings control how your subaccount behaves. This means you can configure options that determine its operations and capabilities. For instance, setting trusted domains controls which URLs can access your applications. Properly adjusting these ensures your environment works securely and as intended for your specific needs. They include descriptions, labels, and operational rules. This means you can document what the subaccount does, categorize it for easy identification, and set rules for how it operates. For example, you might label a subaccount Production EU and set rules to auto-shutdown nightly. These settings are essential for organizing and controlling your SAP BTP environment effectively. Good settings make your work organized and easy to find. This means configuring your subaccount properly helps you logically group and access resources quickly. For instance, setting clear naming for development spaces lets your team instantly locate apps instead of searching through clutter. Proper organization saves time and reduces errors in your projects. Think of it like customizing your workspace. It means you configure your subaccount's environment, such as security rules or available services, to fit your specific project's needs. For example, you can enable only the AI service your team requires. This tailored setup makes your development and operations efficient and secure. Locate your subaccount settings in the SAP BTP cockpit. Open the SAP BTP cockpit in your browser. This means launching the web-based tool where you manage your cloud resources. For instance, just like logging into your email, you navigate to the cockpit's URL to get started. Now you can access and configure your subaccount settings directly. Click on your subaccount from the list. This means you select your specific project space from the available options displayed. For example, if managing a retail project, you would find and click on its name. This action is your direct entry point to managing all related configurations and services efficiently. Look for the Settings option in the left menu. This is where you access and adjust your subaccount's core configurations. For instance, to enable a new feature like audit logging, you would navigate here to turn it on. This central location ensures all your key administrative controls are easily manageable in one place. This is where all the magic happens. It means your subaccount settings are the central control panel for everything you build on SAP BTP. For example, here you enable services like SAP HANA Cloud to power your applications. Mastering this area ensures you can fully leverage the platform's capabilities. Access the settings for your subaccount. Log in to SAP BTP Cockpit. This means you open your web browser and enter your credentials to reach the central management dashboard. For instance, a developer logging in to check available services for their new application. This initial step is essential for accessing and managing your cloud resources. Select your target subaccount. This means choosing the specific area in SAP BTP where you want to manage your applications and services. For example, if you have separate subaccounts for development and production, you would pick the development one to make changes. This ensures you are working in the correct environment. Click on Settings in the navigation panel. This opens the configuration menu where you manage your subaccount's details. For instance, to enable security features, you'd start here to adjust permissions. Remember, this is your control center for all subaccount configurations. You'll see the General Properties page. This is the main overview screen for your subaccount, showing its core details and status. For instance, when you first open your development project space, this page displays its name, description, and region. This central view helps you quickly confirm your environment's basic configuration. Editing basic subaccount properties in SAP BTP. Click the Edit button to make changes. This means you select Edit to unlock the subaccount details for modification. For instance, if you need to update your company's display name, you click Edit, type the new name, and save. This simple action allows you to keep your account information accurate and up to date. You can modify the display name. This means you can change the visible title of your subaccount to something more recognizable. For instance, if your project is called Project Phoenix, you can set the display name to match. This simple update makes it much easier to identify and manage your account in the BTP cockpit. Add or update the description field. This means you can enter or change a brief note about the subaccount to clarify its purpose. For example, you might label it Europe HR Development to indicate it's for developing human resources applications in that region. This simple step helps your team quickly identify and manage the correct environment. Save your changes when done. This means you must confirm any updates you make to the subaccount, like its name or description. For example, after renaming a development subaccount to Project Phoenix, you must save it. Otherwise, your modifications will be lost and not applied. Always remember to finalize your edits. Why good descriptions matter for enterprise success. Clear descriptions help you remember what each subaccount does. They act as quick reminders of the subaccount's purpose without needing to dig into details. For instance, labeling one EU production HR instantly tells you it runs HR apps for Europe. This saves time and prevents mistakes during daily operations. They help teammates understand your work. This means clear descriptions let your colleagues quickly grasp what you've built or changed without needing extra explanations. For instance, when you create an app, a good description tells others its purpose and how it works. This shared understanding helps everyone stay aligned and collaborate effectively. Use descriptive names like Development HR App. This means giving your projects names that clearly explain their purpose. For instance, instead of naming a project Project 123, name it Development Employee Onboarding Portal. This immediate clarity helps everyone on your team quickly understand what each project involves without confusion. Good labeling saves time and prevents confusion. This means clear names help you find and understand things quickly without mistakes. For example, naming a service production database instead of service 1 tells you exactly what it is. Adopting this practice makes your work more efficient and reliable. Configure the description and labels for your solution. In the description field, explain your subaccount's purpose. This means clearly stating what this subaccount will be used for, making it easy for your team to identify. For example, for a development project, you might write subaccount for developing the new customer portal application. A clear description helps everyone understand the subaccount's role at a glance. Use the display name for quick identification. This means giving your service a clear, recognizable name so you can easily find it among others. For instance, name a workflow service Employee Onboarding Workflow instead of a generic ID. This simple step saves time and reduces confusion when managing multiple services. Add labels for easy filtering and searching. This means assigning keywords to your resources so you can quickly find and organize them later. For example, label a development instance with Dev and Team Alpha to filter all development resources for that team. Proper labeling saves time and keeps your environment well organized. Remember, clear labels is equal to easy management. This means using descriptive names so you can quickly identify and organize your services later. For example, label a development instance HR App Dev instead of just Test 1. Proper labeling saves time and prevents confusion when managing multiple projects. Understanding subaccount status. Subaccounts can be enabled or disabled. This means you can turn a subaccount's functionality on for active use or off to temporarily deactivate it. For instance, you might disable a development subaccount during a security audit. This control is essential for managing access and resources effectively across your landscape. Enabled means active and ready to use. This indicates the subaccount is fully operational and configured for immediate access. For instance, a new development subaccount is enabled, allowing your team to start deploying applications right away without delays. You can confidently proceed with your projects knowing it's prepared for use. Disabled means temporarily turned off. This means your subaccount is inactive but can be reactivated later without losing your settings or data. For instance, you might disable a development subaccount during a company audit. It's a reversible state, not a permanent deletion. Remember, it's just paused, not gone. You control when your subaccount is available. This means you decide the exact time to activate your development or testing environment. For instance, you might schedule it to start only during business hours to manage costs. This on-demand control ensures resources are used efficiently and only when needed. Step 3. Manage your subaccount availability. Find the status section in Settings. This is where you check if your subaccount is running properly or experiencing issues. For example, if your application is slow, you can look here to see if there's a system-wide problem. Regularly monitoring this helps ensure your services remain available to users. Toggle between enabled and disabled. This means you can easily turn your subaccount on or off as needed. For instance, disable it during non-business hours to save costs and enable it when work resumes. This simple action helps you control resource usage and manage expenses efficiently. Enabled subaccount is active and running. This means your subaccount is fully operational and ready to use, with all services accessible. For example, when you deploy an app, it can immediately start processing data and serving users. This ensures your business applications are live and functional. Disabled subaccount is paused but not deleted. This means your subaccount is temporarily inactive but still exists with all its data and settings intact. For instance, you might disable a development subaccount during a budget review to stop costs without losing your work. This ensures your resources are safely preserved for when you need them again. Determining the optimal time to change subaccount status. Enable when you are actively working on projects. This means you should activate your subaccount only while developing or testing applications to control costs and security. For instance, turn it on while building a new employee portal, then disable it after deployment. Keeping it active only during development phases optimizes resource usage and maintains a secure environment. Disable during maintenance or when not in use. This means turning off your subaccount to prevent access and stop costs. For instance, if your development team is on a 2-week break, you would disable that development subaccount. This simple action ensures security and cost control during inactive periods. Temporary disabling can help manage costs. This means turning off subaccounts you aren't using to stop incurring service fees. For example, a development team can disable their test subaccount over a weekend to avoid charges. This simple action provides direct control over your BTE spending. Always enable before starting new work. This means activating your subaccount so it's ready for development or testing. For instance, if you are building a new HR app, enable the subaccount first to access required services and tools. Ensuring your environment is active prevents delays and sets you up for immediate productivity. Step 4. Validate your configuration. Review all your settings before saving. This means carefully double-checking each configuration value you've entered to ensure accuracy and prevent errors. For instance, in an email integration, verify the server address and port numbers are correct. Taking this moment to validate helps avoid issues and ensures your solution works as intended from the start. Check that descriptions are clear and helpful. This means every label and explanation in your setup should be instantly understandable to users. For instance, name a service employee onboarding instead of just process 12A. Clear descriptions prevent confusion and guide users correctly, ensuring your configuration is intuitive and effective from the start. Verify the status is set correctly. This means checking that your system is marked as active or ready, not in a draft or error state. For instance, after deploying an app, you'd confirm it shows started in your dashboard. Ensuring this status is correct prevents unexpected errors and confirms your setup is operational. Save your changes and confirm they applied. This means after you adjust settings, you must store them and check they're active. For instance, after setting up user roles, save and verify new permissions appear in the system. This ensures your configurations are properly implemented and functioning. Best Practices Summary. Use descriptive names and clear descriptions. This means naming things so their purpose is instantly understandable. For example, name a service customer_data_validation_service instead of service_01. This clarity prevents confusion and errors for everyone using the platform. Adopting this practice ensures your solutions are maintainable and easy for others to understand. Keep status enabled when working, disabled when not. This means activate services only during active development or usage to prevent unintended access or costs. For example, enable an SAP HANA Cloud instance while building an app, then disable it overnight. This practice ensures security and cost efficiency in your projects. Regularly review and update your settings. This means periodically checking your configurations to ensure they remain secure and efficient. For example, review your sub-account entitlements quarterly to adjust service quotas based on current project needs. This proactive habit prevents issues and keeps your environment optimized. Good configuration equals smooth project management. This means setting up your systems correctly from the start prevents errors and rework later. For example, properly configuring user roles and authorizations during implementation avoids access issues that could halt progress. A solid initial setup is the foundation for efficient project execution. You have mastered sub-account configuration. You can customize sub-account settings with confidence. This means you understand how to adjust your SAP BTP environment to meet your specific project needs. For instance, you can easily set up and manage trusted identity providers for secure user access. This foundational skill ensures your applications run smoothly and securely from the start. Your projects will be better organized. This means you can group related apps and services logically, making them easier to manage and find. For example, you could create separate sub-accounts for development, testing, and production phases. This structured approach directly enhances your team's efficiency and control. Ready to move on to more advanced topics. This means you've mastered the fundamentals of setting up and managing subaccounts. For instance, you can now confidently create a development subaccount, assign user roles, and configure entitlements. With this strong foundation, you are prepared to explore more complex capabilities and integrate services effectively. Great job mastering these essential skills. This means you can confidently set up and manage a subaccount, the core workspace in SAP BTP. For instance, you can now create a subaccount to securely host a new HR application for your company. Your ability to configure these foundational elements is a powerful step forward.